What's going on, guys? Brett and Steven with the BS Show. We are currently waiting for the main card to fight on ESPN. An historic
Main
night.
card to fight?
Main card to start, sorry. So I meant to say it's a historic fight card on ESPN, and we're currently in the middle. We've just got done watching the prelims. Very good prelim fights.
Yeah.
Dennis Bermudez, want to shout out to him. He's calling it a career. He's retiring. He won, and he's saying he's calling it a career. He's done. So, congratulations to him on a big-time career. I'm really excited for these ESPN fight cards now. I feel like it's going to be a lot more broad exposure to the fight card. They're going to get a lot more eyes on it.
I think that's the good thing about UFC signing with ESPN, because ESPN's a network. No matter if you're into football, basketball, now it's going to catch their eye. Even if it's one little interview here and there, it's eventually going to catch their eye. I mean, one reason that we're really into it is because we see these fighters and we're like, oh, they kind of have a good personality. And then you go into the fight rooting for them, not even knowing their skill. You know what I mean? So that's how we kind of pick a lot of these new fighters that we don't know coming up. It's through like these embeddeds and stuff like that. So,
and I love that because Steven and I both have Fight Pass, and we really like to dive into the fighters. We like to watch old fights and stuff, but I think moving forward, I
don't have Fight Pass anymore.
Well, we both just canceled technically, but we did
because the new ESPN Plus. So.
ESPN Plus. So, but I think it's gonna push MMA in a positive direction. Not only because now when you're watching ESPN, they're going to talk about upcoming fights. It's going to let the public know when the fights are. A lot of people who don't follow MMA don't even know when a fight card is because it's a pay-per-view or whatever. So anyways, but the prelims were awesome. I feel like every single fight on the prelims was great. But one of the fights that Steven and I wanted to touch on was the Donald Cerrone against Alexander Hernandez fight. And leading up to this fight, Alexander Hernandez was just talking so much smack, and rightfully so. He's young, he's hungry, he's got some big wins under his belt, he's aggressive, and Steven and I were talking, he's kind of Cowboys' kryptonite.
Dude, yeah, we were talking before the fight, we're like, wow, Donald Cerrone's taking on another up-and-coming stud, and once again, just like the fight versus Darren Till, he said, I don't even know this guy.
Yep.
Which that kind of scared us, because if you haven't seen Alexander Hernandez yet, he's an absolute killer. He's a pressure fighter. He has cardio for days, and he's always in your face and moving forward, similar to like a Colby Covington.
Yeah,
And the dude's sharp. He's a quick talker. He's witty. He's very entertaining to watch, speak, and fight. So we were worried about this fight. We know that Cowboy now, he's saying that he's on a new path in his life with this kid, and he has this newfound fire to go and win that belt. And this is like the first time where we see this hungry Cowboy, you know what I mean? And it's fun to watch.
It is.
So, you want to get into that fight?
Yeah, so, like Steven and I both expected, Alexander Hernandez from the beginning of the, I guess it'd be, bell. He pressured Cowboy. He really put it on him, and Cowboy weathered the storm. He didn't really take any punishment, but I think early he did take an uppercut or a shot landed, and we were like, oh, crap, here we go. This guy pressures him.
Of course, Alexander Hernandez was just ripping Donald Cerrone's body. Because if you watch a lot of fights and you watch a lot of Cowboy, that's kind of his kryptonite, is getting hit in the body and pressure fighters and fighters who don't respect him. Fighters that don't get in there and have a good time and have a regular fight. Fighters that go to take your head off. So it kind of looked bad for Cowboy at first, and we were nervous, but Cowboy, he said he did everything he said. He had this new fire, and he took those body punches and it's like withered it. You could tell it hurt him, but he's like, nope, I'm not letting this stop me. You know what I mean?
Well, and Cowboy's got that kickboxing style. He has to have distance. He wants to measure his distance and throw those leg kicks, throw those head kicks, land those punches. And the reason why he struggles is because when people close the gap, he can't do what he's comfortable doing. And whenever he's not comfortable doing it, like you said, he cracks and he withers down. But he didn't do that. He kind of weathered the storm. He kind of felt the pressure. And Cowboy went to the clinch a lot this fight.
Yeah, he invited, because he knew I think that might have been part of his game plan. He knew Alexander Hernandez was going to come forward, so instead of backing up and getting teed off on the back of your foot, he just invited him into the clinch every time, through knees and exchange, through those short elbows. And 2 or 3 minutes in, Alexander Hernandez's face was all bloody.
Both eyes were bloody, and he actually, Cowboy landed a takedown. I think that threw Hernandez off. You know, Cowboy rarely, even though his ground game is very underestimated, he doesn't, you know, do a lot of takedowns. And he landed a takedown, and I think Hernandez was kind of like, what the hell? And the mixture of Cowboy piecing him up on the feet and the clinch, and he landed that one takedown.
Cowboy,
it made him hesitant.
He was a more relaxed fighter tonight,
He did look very relaxed.
He kind of looked like lackadaisical. He just like, we were worried, like, is he like all the other fights, is he just not awake yet?
Yeah,
but he was picking his shots and just, you know, fighting smart.
And I think historically Cowboy starts a little slow. It takes him about a round to kind of get in there and to feel it out. And then you could tell once Cowboy was getting loose and he smelled a little bit of blood, then he really applied a lot of pressure to Hernandez. And the end of round 1 and then all of round 2, you know, Hernandez was backing up and Cowboy was just picking his shots. Landed a head kick and put him down and then pounded him out for a stoppage. But I kept telling Steven, you know, I'm like, I wish in the middle of these exchanges in the clinch, Cowboy would throw a leg kick, you know, to exit. And he wasn't doing it. But I think what he was doing was he was waiting. He knew in his mind he wanted to land that head kick. And then out of nowhere, bam, he landed it.
Well, that's one thing I said. Like, I think a lot of people expect Cowboy to throw those head kicks because he has so many head kick knockouts. So Cowboy really didn't throw any head kicks at first, and that might have been due to Alexander Hernandez's wrestling. He didn't want to get his leg caught and taken down, so he picked those shots very, you know, wisely. He started to the body, threw 2 wicked body kicks I know hurt Alexander, and then caught him with that one up high. Alexander was on rubbery legs, and it was all over from there.
Well, and Cowboy's back at 155. Like Steven said, he's found his fighting purpose. He had a son, you know. Alexander Hernandez was actually ranked better than Donald Cerrone, and according to the sources that Steven and I listen to and look up, Cowboy Cerrone asked for a 5 lightweight,
top 5
lightweight fighters, and 4 of them turned him down.
Yeah.
So Dana White gave him Alexander Hernandez. So, you know, Donald Cerrone isn't ranked, and these top-tiered fighters aren't wanting to fight him because they know how dangerous it is. But in the UFC's defense, Donald Cerrone has been jumping back and forth to 155 to 170, but now that he has a son, he's gunning for that belt, and it showed. He looked very good.
See, all this being said, too, Alexander Hernandez is young. I was so close to picking him to win this fight, but last minute I switched to Cowboy. I don't know why. I just, you know, you can't go against Cowboy.
Yeah.
I love the guy, but like I said, Alexander Hernandez is young, and I think this is really good for him that he talked so much smack on Cowboy. You know what I mean? He kind of thought that this was his fight, and I think it's good that he went through a war and learned a little something in this fight.
Well, you have to, and you know, a lot of egos
This is his first loss, right?
I think it's his first or second. I know, I want to say he has one. But it's good to get your ego checked. You go back to the drawing board, you figure out what you did, what you could do better. And now, you know, he's 26 years old. You know, he's young, he's hungry. He's already got 2 or 3 big wins in the UFC.
He wasn't even in the cage when they called the victor.
Yeah,
so
I don't like that.
I don't know if he had to leave for medical reasons. It doesn't seem like he was too beat up. It seemed like he was just mad.
Yeah, I think, well, he seems like a head case a little bit. But anyways, guys, so this fight card, you know, we're looking forward to the main card on ESPN Plus. Steven's got the app, you know, and a lot of fights moving forward are going to be on the ESPN Plus. And I think it's a great thing. You know, I really do. And
I disagree. I hate ESPN Plus. I think it's dumb. I don't know, but this is 2 different sides of the spectrum. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments below. I don't like that we have to download this app and, you know what I mean, watch some of these events on that.
Yeah.
But
well, we'll see the way it plays out. Just kind of like the Reebok signing. A lot of people liked the Reebok signing. A lot of people didn't. I personally didn't. But, you know, the UFC is trending in a new direction. They got a new belt. They just signed with ESPN.
Dude, that new belt looks so good, too. I heard Brett was telling me a lot of fighters don't like it, and I don't understand that at all. Like, their old belt looked like something out of WWE. You know what I mean? This looks like legit. It looks clean. You know what I mean? And it's not too busy. I
like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Me too.
So, was there any other noteworthy fights you can think of on the prelims? I'm trying to think. It was a good, I mean, the undercard was really good. The UFC is doing a good job at stacking it, but I think the main one we wanted to talk about was Cowboy and Hernandez.
That was a great fight.
So, but yeah, so Cowboy's on the up and up. I mean, obviously he's got the most wins and and knockouts
Finishes,
and
yeah.
finishes in UFC history. So it's no surprise there. It just kind of depends on which cowboy you get. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and
stay tuned. We're gonna do the main event breakdown and whatever fights we like coming up. There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
Greg Hardy, how he looks. So stay tuned for that. We just want to knock this one real quick since we have like a 30-minute intermission for some reason. But
yeah.
yeah, cool.
All right.
Peace.